Bun găsit tuturor, sunt Alina Dima, gazda dumneavoastră. Știți deja că Travel Mix își propune să vă ajute să călătoriți în cât mai multe locuri de pe această planetă și cât mai interesante. Ca atare, în emisiunea de astăzi, vă invit să facem o călătorie în Kuwait, alături de excelența sa, domnul Talal Mansur Arhagebi, ambasadorul statului Kuwait în România. Cred că cea mai avizată persoană să ne povestească despre Kuwait. Hello, Your Excellency, and thank you so much for having us here today. It's truly a pleasure for us to be invited at your embassy and to talk about the state of Kuwait.
So glad to receive you today on the new headquarters of the Embassy of the State of Kuwait in Bucharest, and I'm really honored to give this dialogue or this conversation with the Travel Mix channel about the state of Kuwait.
Thank you very much. I would like to start with the first question, which comes naturally, I suppose. It would be regarding the foundation of the state of Kuwait and a few important aspects about the history of the country, and also some general facts that you consider important.
State of Kuwait is really an ancient country. We got our independence on 1961, and we have really deep roots on the history. The Kuwaiti people have been established this small country which called before Al-Qurain. Then we have this peoples from many roots, many tribes on the region, and we establish this state officially the beginning of the 19th century. After that, the Kuwait has explored the trade exchange with other countries on the region. We travel by the dhow, we call it the booms, the Kuwait shipment. Most of the merchants were traveling to India, to East Africa, also to other Gulf states, exchanging as any merchant with the goods and some of pearls when the pearls trade was flourishing at that time. We have also the fishing as one of the most resource of our economy. After that, when the oil explore end of 1938, but because of the reason of the Second World War, we start the shipment on 1946. The Kuwait historically, it's been governed by Al Sabah family since that time, more than 350 years. And we have also from the beginning the democracy and the liberation and the freedom of speech. After the official independence in 1962, we established the National Assembly, which is called Majlis al-Ummah, and from that time we start the new modern democracy on the state.
Since travel is actually our main focus and the most important topic that we are going to discuss about today, I would like to ask you about the major tourist sites in Kuwait.
We have the beaches, we have the desert. If we talk about the beaches, and we have the good sites on the Gulf Sea, we have many hotels and resorts. We have also the cultural centers Recently, 4 years ago, Kuwait opened one of the most important and famous cultural center, JAC, which is called Jabir Al Ahmed Al Sabah Cultural Center. It has opera place. We have also Sheikh Abdullah Salim Cultural Center, which is including 5 museums, science, natural, history, and other museums. It's in a big compound. We have also a lot of shopping centers. If you talk about the mall, we have one of the biggest mall on the Middle East called Avenues, the Avenues Mall. We have also lots of international restaurants, cafe, modern cafe. We have also a big foreigner communities which have mingled and get join with the Kuwaiti community and have their culture, their tourist aspects. So in general, Kuwait now flourishing with the tourism industry, and I think it's been now attractive country for most of the Gulf states citizens. Now you can see any nationalities walking on the shopping center, on avenues, or on the hotels, been as residents for fishing, for swimming, for most of the sea activities.
You've mentioned at some point the desert, which I would dare to say is a natural resource of Kuwait. People have always been fascinated by deserts, and there have been many stories throughout history and many writers that had their novels in the desert. Are there any interesting safaris that can be done in the desert, or I don't know, desert nights with folk music?
Now on the winter and spring is the most activities on the weather, on the desert. As you know, many Kuwaitis on the vacation of the spring go to the desert, have camping. We have a lot of camps there on the desert, riding camels, horses. Also, we have some activities with motorcycles, with car racing.
Kuwait City is the most important one, and it's also the capital of the state. How vivid is it? Is it like an European capital, or it's something different?
We have mixed actually capital from traditional and modern. We have something very modern like Europe cities with towers and some high buildings, and also we have heritage and historic places which is conserved by the government and try to protect it. And also the people have enjoying the old markets. We have Al Mubarakiyah market, which is famous now on the Gulf states. The citizen from their country coming to this Al Mubarakiyah, which is heritage, more heritage and historic place.
Kuwait is definitely, or has, one of the most powerful economies worldwide. We can dare to say that because it's actually a fact. The numbers tell that. But is tourism a contributor to the welfare of the state?
Tourism, honestly, is one of the factor of the economy flourishing. We are working still on this sector. We depend, honestly, on the oil and oil products, then the foreign investments, and now we are promoting the tourism sector with this new hotels, new resorts, a new shopping center, which is now taking really widespread on the region.
Let's move towards another aspect which is very important in the day-to-day life, meaningly food. Food does have the tendency to bring people together and to merge civilizations. And now I would like to ask you about the Kuwaiti gastronomy. What are the traditional dishes and what is specific about your gastronomy?
We have many or wide food in Kuwait dishes. Actually, we have traditional dishes, which is machbous lahm, it's lamb with rice. We have mawash, which is lentil with rice and shrimps. We have also mutabbak zubedi, the famous fish in Kuwait is zubedi and very expensive. We have margoug, we have gabut, we have also dessert, the sweet, famous sweet such as rahesh and other traditional Kuwaiti dishes. And now there is restaurants in Kuwait specifically for Kuwaiti dishes. Even they are not depending on what they cook at the home, but also they go for restaurant for Kuwaiti traditional dishes.
So we're talking mainly about a meat diet or a vegetable diet or a mixture between them?
Actually, because as you know, Kuwait with the sea depending on the fishing and most of the seafood come from the Gulf, we have varieties of fishes, shrimps. Also, we depend on the meat, lamb especially. We have some special lamb quzi, we call it quzi. It's with rice and nuts and some of spices. We like the spicy food actually. So we have the mix. And vegetarian have also part of this, different kind of salads and soups. We can, I mean, any person can choose whatever he wants.
You've mentioned earlier some cultural institutions. And I do understand that in Kuwait, culture is very important. I've also read at some point that there are many artists and actors, and the opera is very frequented by the Kuwaitis and also by the expats coming from all over the world. Could you tell me a few things about the main cultural events that happen every year and some of the most important traditions?
We have the book fairs. We have also Hala Febrayer, which is during February month. It is a musical concerts festival. We have many singers coming from the Gulf states and local from Kuwait for this event during February. And also we have another activities regarding the culture, which could be weekly. We have museums, we have painting exhibitions, we have also some of the most and famous actors on the region and in the Gulf state. And the Kuwaiti drama so famous on the Arab countries and on the Gulf states especially. So for that reason, we have through the whole year's activities about cultural and musical and other arts.
Well, about traditions, because probably in the Gulf things happen a bit differently. How about the weddings? When two people meet each other and they fall in love, what happens during a traditional Kuwaiti wedding?
As a little bit conservative community, we have the fiancé on the beginning. The ladies, the mother of the man, go to the house of the girl and ask permission that we would like to take your girl as wife for our son. So if you agree, then they start the procedure with called dazza, which is gifts and money to this lady. Then they start We call it al-milcha, which is the wedding officially writing right, like here in the church when they go, both of them with, we have also the same procedure, either on the mosque or at the house. They make the wedding officially or make it on the papers. Then they start the wedding party. We have ladies party and we have men parties, totally separated. The ladies have music and singer and other families come and join this wedding. Same thing with the men wedding. They make a big buffet. They bring some traditional singer and have this ceremony. Then he go with his friend to the ladies' party to meet his new wife.
We changed the focus a little bit because I am curious about the fact. What do you think would be the similarities between Romanians and Kuwaitis?
I think Kuwait and Romania have really joint and common interesting issues like the culture. We have mostly same liberal and open-minded people. We have also focusing in both countries on the culture aspects. We have many museums, as in Romania, art museum, other aspect, history museum, and also I think the people are very warm on the both countries. Hospitality, like other people, hosting them, and very peaceful and open.
Do Romanian citizens need a visa to travel to Kuwait?
The Romanian citizen have without visa. They can go to Kuwait without any restrictions. They take the plane and travel there to Kuwait airport. Just they take small procedure to get the visa in the airport. I mean, they cannot get it, or they don't need to get it previously, but on the airport they got the visa with a few minutes procedure.
So there is not too much bureaucracy in between.
No, totally no, totally.
That's a good thing, because people love to travel. I think this is one of the most important aspects of our lives and in our century, and we do have more freedom than ever before. That's absolutely a known fact. Are there any direct flights to Kuwait City?
With regrets, no. You have to take one-stop flight. There are many, 3 or 4 indirect flight going to Kuwait, but with short layover.
Short stops.
Yes.
So
yes,
that would mean a pleasant vacation and a pleasant flight.
Yes. Yes.
I would like to ask you, since you've been here for a few years, what do you like most about Romania?
I like the social life here. It's so easy. The restaurant is fabulous here. The natural area is very beautiful. You have varieties of nature places. You have mountains, you have beaches, you have landscape, you have good parks and gardens. On the capital, in Bucharest here, we enjoy our time there. And I think now Romania is one of the modernist Eastern Europe countries because of this mix of nationalities, mix of culture aspects, and also the people very friendly here, honestly, and you don't feel any difficulties with contacting or have any dialogue with the people.
You've traveled around the country, so I am going to dare to ask you, which is the region that was most heartfelt, or you loved the most, or maybe which tourist objective in the country, if it's a castle or a museum, did you like the most?
Lot of them, honestly, Elena. We have Sanaya, I've been there to Bitesht Palace. We have also Constante. I like the Constante area. On also Brasov, I've been there, and to Dracola Castle on Bran Castle. So the varieties here is totally different from area to area. So you have everything you want, mountains or landscape or beaches and seas. So everything have its privacy and its individuality.
How is Kuwait promoted in Romania?
We're starting now actually a good promotion between the two countries to attract the investors and the businessmen to come to Kuwait to invest in many areas on the agriculture, on the oil industry, also on some business trade exchange between the companies. So we have now working with the officials, government, with the ministries, and also with other businessmen communities, the Chamber of Commerce of Romania, Chamber of Commerce of Brahova as well. So all this attracting and promoting the bilateral relations.
I would like to kindly ask you, as a conclusion, to launch an official invitation to our viewers to visit the state of Kuwait.
I would like honestly to invite everybody from the Romanian country, this lovely country, to visit Kuwait. You will see totally different about Kuwait tourist site, culture sites, and also you will enjoy your time, especially at this period till beginning of May. The weather is fabulous. You can enjoy your time. So please don't hesitate. And if you have any questions about the visa or any other issue, don't hesitate to come to the embassy and ask. Our colleagues here will help you and assist in any things.
Thank you so much, Ambassador.
Thank you.
It was a real pleasure to discuss about Kuwait and also about Romania and the similarities between our countries. It's a really, really great world we live in nowadays. I'm quite sure about that.
Totally, I agree with you, totally. And I would like also to re-thank you with your cast, the crew who's helping you here. And it was really a pleasure to have you on my office, on the embassy, and to have this interview.
Dragii mei, după cum ați văzut, am avut o discuție extrem de interesantă cu excelența sa, domnul ambasador Talal Mansur, care vă invită oficial să vizitați statul Kuwait. Sunt absolut convinsă că nu veți regreta. Până la următoarea noastră întâlnire, nu uitați să vă transformați viața într-o poveste frumoasă.